music bridges the gap, democratizes music, and removes the barrier of technical skill needed to be creative. It's a time to wonder at the marvel of AI.
I look around at the incredible amount of human expression that we communicate through music, and I think to myself, oh my God, how much more of that is out there, blocked inside people's minds? And what would happen if we set it free?
It's not really enjoyable to make music now. It is not really enjoyable.
People are asking AI to produce art for mass consumption. What need is there for a musician at all? I'm Lander. If you would like to support more videos like this and my work as an independent artist, please like, subscribe, and consider joining my Patreon for free or with a subscription. Anyone can buy one of these, a microphone, a laptop, download a program for free or for a fee, and boom, you have got a home studio. About 30 to 36 years ago, this would have been impossible. Billie Eilish and Skrillex would not have been a thing. Them, like many musicians and aficionados alike, record music with the tools I just mentioned. No studios. Do we resist our home recording software and minimal equipment just because they're not a studio? Do we resist plugins just because they're not the real deal? I don't think so. The question is, do we need to draw the line at AI? Maybe AI becomes the assistant you never had. You can kiss goodbye to writer's block. If you don't know how to start your production, you can prompt a full-blown one, or use it as a departing point. Get ideas that you can accept or reject. Is that truly awful? Think of the electric guitar in the 30s and the synthesizers in the 60s. They were once deemed inorganic, inexpressive, unmusical. Is it possible we're facing a parallel situation with AI in music? To make music, you need instruments, tools. AI is a tool, therefore you can make music with AI. Simple, right? Hold on, but what are we talking about? What is AI music? AI permeates different aspects of music as it does in our everyday life. However, the most concerning branch in music is generative AI. Music that has been created by artificial intelligence by means of a prompt from a human. Of course, these models are trained using existent human-made music. However, other scenarios of AI music include automation of processes like mixing and most notoriously mastering, which traditionally is a process conducted by an expert to polish and deliver a professional sounding piece of music for digital streaming or physical distribution. We are concretely talking about two different scenarios that exist at the same time. Scenario A is AI-generated music, and Scenario B is AI music tools to aid the process of the musician, not replace the creation process. So what does each scenario imply? Let's think about people without musical training. They will likely benefit from creating music by typing a prompt to accompany their poem, their short film, or lyrics they wrote. On the other hand, there are small businesses creating their own signature music using AI to accompany their brands and their ads.
It's a broke mentality fueled by self-doubt.
Restaurants who don't want to pay a license to play music by real artists opt for AI music. Now, keep in mind that these are not hypothetical situations. These are real-life scenarios. Pause this video for 10 seconds. Not to rationalize, but just ponder how you feel about that. If we can all take photos and not be photographers, or cook and not be chefs, then why can't we allow people to create music using AI? that surely is not going to make them a musician, right? So what is the whole drama about? With generative AI, we could say that the musician as a whole, the individual that has invested time, effort, and resources into learning to play an instrument, learning to compose and perform, is under threat. If we can generate music without any training whatsoever, and people cannot tell the difference between an AI-generated piece of music and a human-crafted piece of music, what need is there for a musician at all? What is the point? And will musicians be the only ones affected? What do you think? Do you have a clear stance about it? If you're not a musician, what's your profession? Let me know in the comments. If I am honest with myself, this doesn't sound like a black or white situation. It seems like the arguments pro and against AI can be two sides of the same coin. So far we've established that scenario A describes AI-generated music. Now, scenario B describes the possibility of AI tools doing the job of many other professionals within the music industry. Consider the history of the planet, the appearance of the Homo sapiens, the appearance of written music, and the appearance of recorded music for the masses. Careers involving production and engineering are relatively new. They are about 100 years old. So are these roles bound to stay here forever? What I know is the existence of music and song, we have no idea when it started. Notating music and recording music is one thing, but the experience of music, I'm willing to bet, has been around for as long as we have been able to communicate using our voices, long before writing, probably over 1 million years ago. So is this just a matter of saying goodbye to certain roles within the music industry? Most of us modern musicians have taught ourselves how to record, mix, master our own music, and that is in addition to learning to play an instrument, perform, and compose. Effectively, we've been bypassing many jobs by acquiring all these skills made possible by technology. Admittedly, the quality at times can suffer, but in the face of having no budget to record our music other than our own funds, should we aspire to only record when and if we have a budget? If we can delegate these tasks without huge budgets and focus on the music, should we feel sorry for the mixing and mastering engineers of this world? Or even the performers we won't need to complete our pieces of music? Maybe not. But it sounds like this becomes a vicious circle very quickly, which musicians soon get sucked into as well. Right now, as musicians and artists, we are inclined to take a moral stance against the dangers of AI. A few years ago, I found myself using AI to help me generate an image based on a photograph of myself for my EP, as well as a single cover for one of my tracks. I was curious about the technology. I still am. We've been taught to keep up with technology. All I wanted was to release my project within my own timeline and resources. Since then, I've come back to commission artworks for my projects. However, I do find myself wanting and resisting using AI to help me realize my projects. What if I used AI to help me with visuals for my work? What if I used AI to help me finish a part of my song I'm struggling with, like a drum part? I ask myself, in what areas of our lives do we allow AI and why? Do we meet AI with the same amount of scrutiny in every single aspect of our lives it seems to be intruding? Modern autocorrect is AI. Siri, Alexa, and other voice-activated assistants are applications of AI.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Stop.
Say that again.
Stop. Google Maps uses AI to process live traffic data and provide you with the best route. Suggestions tailored to you in streaming platforms, including TV, music, podcasts, and social media, are all AI curated. Search engines now give you an AI overview before you're able to read and check the sources. All these advances and AI integrations are already having an impact in different industries, like writing, translation, customer service, assistant positions. Do musicians hold a special status? At this very moment, people, younger generations, are asking ChatGPT the deepest personal questions. They turn to AI for emotional support, to help their mental health, and to seek companionship. Sure, people ask for help with emails, essays, and homework. And now people are asking AI to produce art for mass consumption. Despite the many benefits we can find for the use of AI, we are effectively offloading the very things that differentiate us from other creatures in this planet: our critical thinking and our capacity to express ourselves. At what point does it stop being a human-technology collaboration? And at what point do we humans become the tool for dissemination of this one-sided output? The Greek philosophers of Athens wrote about the importance of music and its moral function in society. These same philosophers advised against too much music, and Plato only approved of melodies in the Dorian or Phrygian modes, and excluded other modes. With the pass of the centuries, institutions like the church have advised against specific types of music. And different types of music throughout history have faced moral scrutiny based on their accompanying images, lyrics, and performances. It seems like throughout history, everyone has had an idea of what music is allowed to exist, and the reasoning behind it aligns with the morals of the epoch. Then, should AI music be allowed to exist? Do you think AI-generated music will only affect musicians, not the audience and the general public? Before I release the following videos in this mini-series, I want you to think about 3 names. One is Mikey Schulman, the CEO of Suno.
It's not really enjoyable to make music now.
2 is Daniel Ek, the executive chairman for Spotify. And 3 is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. They might have impressive credentials and careers. And one thing holds true: they are not artists, and they are not working to benefit anyone in the arts. They might hold different levels of skepticism regarding AI, but at the end of the day, especially the first 2, have music as the object of their business. Music happens to be the product they chose. The arts are vulnerable and problematic, partly because they're not encouraged enough in society, and partly because they require a lot of investment of time, education, resources, and money. They see this as an opportunity where they argue to be helping to democratize music. Sam Altman said, "Technology is the greatest equalizing force in society." And he also said this.
I think AI will probably, most likely sort of lead to the end of the world, but in the meantime, there will be great companies created with serious machine learning.
In part 2, we will hear the arguments pro-AI, the ones championed by people and companies playing gigantic roles in music. Not just the music industry, in music. And we will see whether these arguments hold true. I'm Elander. Don't forget to subscribe and support in any way you can. and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.